Hey guys, welcome to this episode. Mark back here from Jazz Guitar Lessons with you for a quick snapshot podcast about beliefs. Yeah, I know it sounds corny. It's the whole personal development area where, careful what you believe in, or the famous Henry Ford quote, which is, if you believe you can, or if you believe you can't, you're both right. And I want to address it in a slightly different perspective, a different entry point into this whole thing as it relates to learning to play music better, to learn to improvise or to play jazz guitar, whatever is your goal or whatever you're working on right now. The reason you're listening to this episode is probably because you're passionate about it and you want to make a change, or learn new things and or have more fun while performing, or perhaps you have the goal of going out and performing live, or you doing this just to for the satisfaction if someone asks you, hey, play me a tune, and then you can perform the tune. So regardless, I just invite you very politely, not telling you what to do, but kind of putting unsolicited advice out there, telling you that sometimes there's students that I come across that will have a pretty definite belief or pretty definite stubborn way of perceiving what is lacking or what the next steps are supposed to be in their musical development. So in my case, it's guitar. Of course, it says it in the website thing. It's jazzguitarlessons.net. And of course, people may be very attached to the ways of doing things, or say attached to what it means to be lacking a certain element. Let me give you an example. A student of mine goes and learns a new standard. Let's say it's How High the Moon. And they say, okay, there's this song, there's a melody, and if I want to improvise better, so notice the if statement. If, then I have to do all of these arpeggios, 7th arpeggios, in all of the keys on at least 2 octaves and in all of the different positions. And this turns into, a should statement. If, then. And just to be very, very polite and concise and be, PC with my students, I'll go like, okay, and so far, have you done this on previous standards, successfully? And if so, and the answer may be yes, and if so, did it make you improvise better in the end? Right, so there's always a way I will be, again, politely, just trying to crack that shell a little bit. Just go like, yeah, okay, you believe that, and I think it's good. I mean, no one could argue that it would be wrong, quote unquote wrong, to practice arpeggios this way on How High the Moon. However, what are you trying to accomplish? And are you very attached to this manner of proceeding? That's what I say when I meet people and they really want to take control of the how. And then I question them and go, how does this how perform for you? Because if this works, then you're clearly on your way and you're developing as a player. If not, then here's my proposition, my method. It may work for you, may not. It works for me, it works for these students, and this is the step-by-step approach of how we do things. And so today in this micro, podcast, you say capsule in French, this is just a reminder to be mindful when you catch yourself believing some things or having mandatory musts or shoulds. That would have been a great example. Going like, when I do this, I have to, if I encounter a new standard, then the only way, specifically, often is very dogmatic, right? It's one way of looking at it, of proceeding. There's only one way because so-and-so instructor said it, or this book said it, or people will even get in, arguments on online guitar forums. I've seen that. Like, we only have to think of only arpeggios when we solo, because the arpeggios are the good notes of the chords. That's a very valid argument. Cool. And then there's the other side of the fence that says, no, we must only think of scales because here's the rest of the argument. Because if I listen to Charlie Parker solos or Coltrane solos or Michael Brecker solo, whoever, the solos are made of scales. Another solid argument. And I'll sit here right in between in my extreme centrist views. I'm like, you guys on this side are telling me you got to practice only arpeggios, and you guys on the other side, you're telling me you got to practice only scales, right? And I have a huge question mark on my face. I go like, why couldn't I just do both of these things, right? Why does it have to be an or? It's not or, it's and. I both personally think and teach in arpeggios and in scales. So there's no such thing as a finalized, crystallized, cemented, one-way, ultimate holy grail of whatever it's never going to be the case. And plus, once it's getting settled, we're going to get true artists, like artists plurals, pushing these boundaries further into new territory, and then arts or music as a field and teaching will have to evolve as well. It's going to have to catch up. So there's never any absolutes. That would be the takeaway for today. So if you catch yourself looking at the how, and again, I speak from experience. I watched my statistics recently, and I've been on 1,000 conversations with you guys, coaching conversation, over 1,000 people I sat in front on Skype or Zoom, whatever, and went like, yep, how can I help you? And some people wind up enrolling, having a really awesome time into my coaching program. Some people say, I never want to speak to you again. It's the worst thing that happened since whatever World War II. Like, okay, fine, I'm completely open to that. But I had everyone on the extreme of using my services, my coaching, and the other people on the other side that did not, and everyone in between. And that's a very common theme in the rigidity of the people I talk to that have a problem that they deem that is not actually a real problem, which would be, the reason I'm not good at improvising on How High the Moon yet is because I haven't done this work on the arpeggios. Say, that was the example from earlier. But the more of these convincing paradigms there are, the easier it's to have excuses and go, oh, I'm not good at that yet. Of course, because I haven't done that other thing. And then becomes like a gateway into going, oh, well, here's the explanation why I didn't succeed. And my take as a guitar coach and teacher would be like, what if that thing you think you should have done or should not have done does not explain your lack of success? What if there's another way to have success that's quicker, faster, way more fun? And, what if you encounter a guy? It could be Mark, it could be anyone else. It could be the guy next door, the guy or gal next door that teaches guitar, and go, boom, wow, quite the revelation that I can actually do what I intended to do without going through all of these shoulds. So keep an eye out for that. That's just a quick life reminder. And thanks for listening. If you're listening to this on podcast platforms, please leave us a 5-star review, or if you can add comments or questions, I read all of those and what we talk about in the podcast. These topics are determined by you guys' comments and engagement. So if you have anything else you'd like me to tackle, let me know. Happy practicing, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.